Hi, this is Ashley.
And Maggie.
And you're listening to The Watering Hole, a place where animals and animal enthusiasts regularly drink. Every episode, we'll talk about different animals and why they're cool, from basic biology to the threats they face and what people are doing about it. All while under the influence.
Almost,
Why was that scary?
Missed.
My depth perception was off.
So
Welcome
good.
back!
This is so exciting.
I just got like a rush of excitement go down my body.
Really happening.
It's been so long.
It's been like effectively 2 years.
I've moved across country and back.
So, but
That's how long it has been.
what is time, if
No.
we're being honest?
I think that's a great question. That's what this podcast is now about.
We're no longer talking about animals.
We're talking about what is time. The time
Do you
hole.
have any answers?
The wormhole. No, it's been a minute.
It has, and I feel like there's way too much that we would have to update our listeners and now viewers on. So why don't we just skip all that and just say welcome?
Yeah, I think big news is that we now have a YouTube channel that will be posting all of the videos. So if you're listening to this, if you're a classic listener, you can watch and listen if you want. We still encourage all of our podcast listeners to do both. Watch it twice. It's better twice.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, so every episode that you're listening to, you can also now watch on our YouTube channel.
Indeed.
So that's new. Yeah, and I think our plan is to be more consistent.
That's always our plan, so I think it's a good one. I mean, we are both now living in the same city again.
I know.
Which is pretty remarkable.
Well, that's how it started, and I think majority of the podcast, we were not living in the same city.
Is that true?
I think so. It doesn't matter. Anyway.
Tomato.
It's been a while. We now live in
Yeah.
the same city. It just makes sense.
Yeah,
And
it
we
does.
love animals even more than we used to.
Is that even possible?
No, I think it is. I love them more and more every time.
I mean, the more I learn about them, the more I'm just like, wow, we have to protect this planet. There are
Right?
so many cool animals out there that are doing freaky, great stuff.
So cool. Freaky stuff. What animals are you looking at?
Just you wait.
Oh, God.
So, shall we? Also, our episodes are hopefully going to be a little bit shorter.
Yeah, probably not this one because we've done a bit more catch up.
Yeah.
I did think it'd be cool if you want to, listeners, send in questions
Yes.
of just questions you have, and maybe we can provide a little update on like what we've been doing in a separate video on our YouTube channel. I don't know. I can cut this out if we don't stick to it.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's another thing that we haven't talked about, but I think we should definitely encourage more like suggestions from the audience as
Absolutely.
well. We, if there are animals that you want to hear about, let us know because chances are we would love to talk about it.
Especially if there's an animal you don't think we know about. First of all, I love a challenge.
Yeah.
But then also just love learning about something brand new.
Totally.
So send in suggestions, send in questions, send in, I don't know, say hi.
And you can
Tell us you're still here, that you remember us.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've only got like 5 of you out there, listeners, but
Hi, Mom.
thank you. Yeah, thanks, Adam. So you can reach us by emailing us. We're thewateringholepod@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram @thewateringholepod. We also have a website. Guess what that is? thewateringholepod.com. We like to be consistent with our names, if nothing else.
Yeah. And we don't technically have the YouTube channel up yet, but I'm guessing it's going to be The Watering
I
Hole.
bet it'll be the Watering Hole
Put
Pod.
it on screen.
Yeah.
That's something we can do now.
Perfect.
And then I guess we'll put it in the episode description because
Definitely.
it's a podcast. Yeah. Okay, we ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I forgot that we do clues,
I know.
but there's not many clues. Like, you're gonna get this one.
Same. So this is great. It's our first episode back. We need to ease in.
Yeah, I'll give you I'll give you context clues.
Perfect. I'm about it.
Okay, we saw this together when we were in Kenya.
Great.
By the way, we were in Kenya.
Oh my God, we forgot to tell you guys this. Biggest update, we were in Kenya together.
A year ago today.
Yeah. We were technically on assignment, which is great.
Yeah.
So if you want to hire us, we know what we're doing.
Just so you know. We'll prove it.
Can do.
Okay, so I wasn't with you when I saw this.
Oh, did you see the bat-eared fox? Is that what you're doing?
That's not what I'm doing, but I did see that bat-eared fox. It was
Without
so
me.
cute. Oh my God, it was such a moment.
So...
No, here, I'll give you a little bit of a description. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
Good one. It's a bird on stilts.
Oh.
And it might take some notes for you. It might check you into an office.
I thought we saw this together. The secretary bird.
It is secretary bird. I wasn't with you the first time I saw it then.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's what it was.
So that's funny. I was going to say secretary bird before you said take notes. And I was like, no, but we saw that together. Oh, right. Well, this is great.
I'm so excited because they're just the coolest bird.
They're really professional.
They're much more professional than us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tune into the YouTube channel to see what we look like. See what I look like.
Or don't.
Well, I was going to talk about the time I saw it later on, but since I gave that clue, the first time I saw it was, so when we were in Kenya, I was in a different vehicle than Maggie, and I was in the front with our driver/guide, Kim, and the day before I was like looking through the field guide and I was just like pointing out animals that I wanted to see. Some were not where we were, but I had pointed to the secretary bird about how I was like, Kim, I really want to see this. And he's not, you're a guide, you can't guarantee.
He can't magically make one appear.
Yeah. So it was like all in good fun. And then the next day we're like driving, we're looking for cheetahs, and all of a sudden, Kim stops, he like looks, I don't even know if he took out his binoculars or not. And he just goes, there's your secretary bird. And I was like, what? And it was like, I don't know, 50, 100 meters away. This thing was so far away that I was like, what are you talking about? And like, they're big birds, but like, he saw this thing hundreds of feet away. And I take out my binoculars and sure enough, it's a little secretary bird. And I was like,
my God.
Can we get closer? And he's like, yeah, we can get closer. And that was my first time I saw it. And I was just like, what a star. Kim truly was a star. I was just
Our guides were phenomenal. Like, they just know where everything is. They know what they're looking at when it's a mile away and it's a speck on the horizon.
Yeah. I was just like, Kim, how? I was like, well, you said you wanted to see it. And I was like, I've never felt more seen in my life. But for that reason, and just because they're so friggin' cool, secretary bird it is. And the Latin name...
Here we go.
First is easy. Sagittarius.
Okay.
Serpentarius.
That definitely sounds like a Harry Potter spell.
Right? Oh, it definitely does. But for those who don't know, think of a raptor, so like an eagle or an osprey, and basically just put it on stilts.
And give it pants.
Give it pants. And make it fancy.
Yeah.
So they stand nearly 4 feet tall. They actually only weigh between 5 and 10 pounds. So
That's it?
Very, very light. Very, very light.
What?
They have a 7-foot wingspan. I know, they weigh...
I'm trying to like lift up my microphone right now to see how heavy that is.
Yeah.
It's not 5 pounds.
No, it's very, very light.
Wow.
To 10, they could be 10. But they're still a bird. Their bones are hollow.
Yeah,
they're just,
that's
be
crazy.
Light. Now I feel like it's wrong.
Want me to fact check you? Secretary
It's been a while,
bird
people.
weight. It says up to 10 pounds.
See?
That's crazy.
Right? They have a 7-foot wingspan, so longer than me if I lay down.
Yeah.
I'm not laying down. I'm not doing that. But as Maggie said, they have pants. What does that mean? What does it mean they have pants? So their top half is gray and white with like a distinctive crest of black feathers on their head. And then they have the bottom half of them, their legs have black pants. So just like their waist to their knees is black feathers, and then from their knees down is scaly
Scales?
Skin? Yeah, scale.
It's just like
Scale. It's
imagine
like
a chicken that's
yeah.
been plucked.
Yeah. So it
Not
looks like they're
scaly.
wearing like pinkish white, like knee-high socks.
Yeah.
So they're just the fanciest little boy, like the littlest paper boy. And then they have a splash of color on their face. That was a wine burp. Orange and yellow skin around their eyes, and then they have these like most beautiful eyelashes.
Oh, so they're wearing mascara.
They are, but they have big eyelashes, and those are used to keep debris out of their eyes. They're not just for stylish.
Oh, wow,
Yes.
that's so sensible. That's not why I wear mascara.
Right? No, it is not. If anything, it gets in my eye.
Also, I like how you said, or you started to say, like, well, they wear pants. What does that mean? And then after a bit of a description, you were like, and then they have black pants. That's what it means.
That's what it means.
Oh my God.
It's been a while.
What's the other flightless bird that we saw?
Cory bustards?
That's it, Cory bustard.
Well, so secretary
not
birds are not
flightless.
flightless. Neither are Cory
neither,
bustards.
neither are Cory bustards.
There's
You know what I meant. It was the tall. Cory bustard is the heaviest bird that can fly.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Not flightless.
But so what's in a name? It's not 100% certain where the name secretary bird comes from, but the most common belief is that they are named after 19th century lawyers, clerks, or secretaries who'd wear gray coats, knee-length black pants, and often stuck quill pens behind their ears. So, I mean, it all checks all the boxes.
They really are just dressed to the
Impress.
nines in terms of getting work done.
Yeah. They're
In an office.
They're ready. They're ready to return from remote work. They're like, we are ready to be in the office. We want to take those notes.
They belong in Harry Potter.
They do. With the name
With the
and
name?
then
Yeah.
the look, they're Harry Potter birds. They kind of look like, the face looks like a,
Buckbeak.
yeah, got a buckbeak look going on.
Did I ever tell you that my mom made me a stuffed buckbeak?
I feel like you did, and I was jealous.
Well, here's the thing.
I feel like that I wasn't jealous.
Yeah, you weren't jealous after all. And we still joke about it to this day because, like, the poor thing.
Was this the one that was really flat?
No, that was the lobster fox.
Gotcha.
Buckbeak, like, had the normal head, had a beak, had wings, had the body. And then she couldn't figure out how to give it legs. So she found like doll legs
No!
that were like long and skinny. And this stuffed animal was like this big. And then imagine like little doll legs as big as my finger.
Doll legs and on anything but a doll is a no.
It's a
hard pass.
hard no. That poor creature. Thanks,
Okay.
Mom. Not your strength.
Oh, it's terrifying. Okay. But in terms of names, they actually went through like a whole bunch of names.
Oh.
So the reason that Sagittarius is in their Latin name is because a Dutch naturalist named Arnaut Vosmeer thought Sagittarius would be a cool name for them. It was originally just called Sagittarius. Or at one
Interesting.
point by this Dutch man, he called it Sagittarius. But the reasoning was because it has, when they walk, they have a funky kind of gait. And he thought it was a similar gait to how an archer walks.
Oh, okay.
And then their crest reminded him of a quiver of arrows. So Sagittarius is, the archer.
Right. That makes sense where he came up with it, I guess.
Right?
They have.
So it's
Does
just
an
gonna call it
archer walk a unique way?
Just, I think the slow, stealthy, maybe? I don't know.
It just sounds pretentious.
Listen, well, he's Dutch. What do you want?
Sorry, Dutch listeners.
So in terms of habitat, they're endemic to Africa and found in open grasslands and savanna of the sub-Saharan region. They're generally non-migratory, but still have a very large range.
Okay.
Extending from Senegal to Somalia and south to South Africa.
Wow.
So a very large range. They're not moving through it, but you can find secretary
them
birds in
all
a
over.
wide area. And what's really cool is that they make very large nests on top of acacia trees. And when I say large, they're like gigantic,
like little tiny houses?
Not that. I mean, how big is a tiny? I mean, I guess
It's definitely smaller than a tiny house.
you went too big too soon.
You were not picking up my sarcasm. So wait, maybe like a Mini Cooper?
Sure. But they have I saw a picture of a Nest camera on the secretary birds. Okay. You can fit 2 adult secretary birds and a baby with plenty of room to spare.
Look at
they're
them.
big.
They've got an attached garage? Maybe?
Totally. Absolutely.
Look at them go.
But so behavior-wise, what are these long legs all about? If you got long legs, why?
Yeah.
Well, for one, because they're walking through these tall grasses. They got to see what's around. But they're way more of a runner than they are a flyer. So they can fly, but they're mostly walking around looking for food. But most importantly is that they are stompers.
Yes.
That's
love right.
to stomp their prey to death, which is just, it makes me so happy. I don't know why.
That's really special, actually.
Like, just
Great.
like, what a technique. I don't know. There's something about it.
See, that's where I could see more of like, not that an archer would stomp things to death, but just having that kind of tactic seems more human-like.
Right?
Right?
Of like, oh shit, what is that?
Yeah, like, oh God, step on it, put it out, you know, something.
But so them and, is it caracaras? C-A-R, it's a kind of bird.
Right, I know, but I don't remember what it looks like.
Caracaras, it's another kind of bird, are the only terrestrial birds of prey. So they're the only ones that hunt on foot for their food.
Hunt on foot.
All other raptors and birds of prey soar through the air and dive bomb. Also a cool tactic, but...
Saw a peregrine falcon in Washington, D.C. yesterday.
That's exciting.
Very cool.
Very cool. I saw a bald eagle while I was driving up to Massachusetts. Very dangerous to bird while driving.
Oh yeah, done that before. I've left my friends' voice notes or voicemails. I'm just like driving along, like, oh my gosh, it's a bald eagle.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So they eat small mammals.
Yeah.
They'll eat reptiles,
Oh, wow.
birds, large insects, but they're most known for hunting venomous snakes.
Yes. Okay.
And they're like built for this.
This is so cool because as you were listing out their prey, I'm thinking like, but they're known for like stomping snakes, right? And as you're talking, I'm like, oh my God, that's so sad. They small mammals. Like I'm just imagining a mouse getting stomped on. Like that's sadder for some reason than a snake. But anyway, continue.
But remember, the second part of their name is Serpentarius.
Yeah,
which refers
of course.
to these kind of snake hunters. So they either chase down the snakes or they strike them down with their bill and then stomp them until they're dead. Or sometimes they just stomp them until they're stunned. They don't have to be dead.
Sure.
And then they swallow their prey whole.
That's terrific.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, it is terrific. So they, like I said, they are built for hunting venomous snakes. So they actually flap their feathers as kind of distractions. Because if a venomous snake were to bite those feathers, they're hollow feathers, it's not going to do any kind of harm.
Wow, that's really smart.
So those feathers can be used for distraction. And then, as we were talking earlier, they have scaly lower legs that would provide additional protection. Against any kind of snake bites.
That's cool.
But yeah, so they are the venomous snake hunters by stomping them to death. There's just something about, you're right, it is just feels so human.
It is a very human bird.
Like primal, very primitive.
Do people come back as secretary birds? Or like is secretary bird...
I would love to.
Or do secretary birds, is that like preparation for becoming a human in your next life? Who knows? We don't.
Find out on our other podcast. Future
paranormal. Something.
I don't know. We'll come up with a name with it. So they mate for life. They perform beautiful aerial courtship displays, which are apparently called pendulum flights.
That's cool.
Which makes sense because there's other birds that do this where they like swoop down and up again in like this kind of undulating pattern. Like a pendulum.
Yeah.
Phew, phew.
So many birds in Africa have those really cool courtship displays.
They also have, on the ground, the pair may dance around each other with their wings outstretched. So that's most of what I have. Conservation-wise, they are listed as vulnerable. Their biggest threat is encroachment on their habitat. A lot of grasslands are being burned and cleared for livestock. Open areas provide little protection for prey, so if grasslands are gone. So yes, they're in like open areas in terms of like they live in grasslands.
Like the savannah, yeah.
Yeah, but once the grasslands are gone, prey's not gonna hang out there.
There's nowhere to,
So they have a harder time hunting, and then the presence of humans or primarily herders will interfere with breeding often. So they're listed as vulnerable, doing okay, but could use a little bit of help.
Yeah, just like most of
Right?
the creatures of this world.
Very little do we bite an animal. We're like, they're doing great.
Right, like the pigeon maybe.
Right? Maybe we'll cover cane toads.
Oh, those suckers. Oh my God, they're freaky.
Prolific. But yeah, so that's secretary bird.
Wow, love secretary birds. Love that it was something we saw together.
Right?
Very cool.
So exciting. All right, your turn.
Okay. So,
That's where we'd put a commercial break with a sponsor if we had any.
one day.
One day.
All right. So, really funny because before we started this episode, I was looking at my notes and I just kind of muttered to myself, Jesus. And you said, is that your clue? Are you doing basilisks? I'm not doing basilisks.
I was gonna say, could you imagine if I got it off of Jesus?
So I'm gonna see if you can get it off Jesus though, because
Ooh, something that comes back to life, resurrection. No, I'm not going there.
no. So they're known as Jesus birds.
Jesus birds.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Would you like me to give you one of their African, well, I just gave something away.
They're African Jesus birds.
one of their Latin names.
Yeah.
Actophilornis africanus.
Seems like two of their Latin names. Their entire Latin name.
That's one of the species of this.
Are they weaver birds?
No. So I am doing a family of these birds, but not all. I'm not talking about all the species because it's not necessary.
You're doing kangaroos?
Not doing kangaroos. Throwback. It's a family of wading birds.
Oh, are like Hasana, Hasana.
So
Me.
that's part of it. The
I don't know how to say
Jacana
it.
birds.
Jacana, there we go.
Like, there's a discrepancy on how it's pronounced.
Okay, good,
It's like
good.
Jasana, Jacana, I'm going with Jacana.
Okay.
That's
I like
how
it.
I'm going to pronounce it.
I like
So,
it.
I'm doing
Oh, I
birds.
love these birds.
Birds in the family of Jacanidae, Jacanidae, however you want
How
to say
many
it.
are there?
So,
I guess you'll probably tell us.
they are wading birds that live in the tropics. There are 8 known species. There were like 3 that are now extinct, one of which lived in Florida. But, okay.
Of course, it's extinct and it lived in Florida.
I know, right?
Florida ruins everything.
This is why we can't have nice things in the U.S., Florida. So, just for fun, the 8 species that exist are the lesser, the African, which is what Latin name I just gave you, Madagascar, comb-crested, pheasant-tail, bronze-winged, northern jacana, and, affectionately, the wattled.
The wattled! That's fantastic. I'm so excited.
So they're a
love
wading
these
bird,
birds.
but what's so special about them and why did I choose them? Okay, they're the thing of fucking nightmares, I think.
Their feet are.
So imagine a willet. Or a
try again.
or a Dunlin. Or
Okay, even Argos is like, fuck that clue.
Argos is like, I heard you taking notes on this earlier. It's not funny.
It's not good.
Okay.
Sorry, pause. Do you see my dog?
This is when he does the sleep, when he's in his sleep.
Like he's dead. I'm gonna take a picture. We'll insert it.
Oh my God. Yeah, so I'm thinking of other wading birds, like a red knot,
Okay.
a red shank. Birds are weird.
I just feel like for like the regular viewer, like
No, I'm intent.
a sandpiper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine
Oh, and you thought it was funny.
most things I say. I think it's funny.
It's funny because no one will know.
No one will know this. Then I can just laugh to myself and be like,
No, it was good.
I am smarter than everyone.
Look, it worked. It worked out great.
Okay. So just imagine you are seeing one of those birds walking around the water's edge.
Yeah.
Start there.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing like the long legs that extend into the water. Now imagine that each one of their toes is the length
same
of
length.
that leg.
It just keeps going.
So it effectively looks like they have the feet of like an entire spider. Like it's so freaky.
Why do we both do long-limbed birds?
I don't know, but also earlier you were talking about your witch fingers, and I was
Yeah.
going to use that as a clue too, and just be like, they have witch fingers.
I really do have witch fingers.
Oh my God, they're just so.
Okay, can I pause real quick?
Yeah.
Speaking of terrifying feet, have you ever seen what a newborn like horse's hooves look
Yes.
like?
Oh my God. This was making the rounds on social media, right? Recently, a newborn horse's hooves.
They're like covered with this like weird like I don't
We have to ask Kelly about this. Like,
Right?
is this real?
I did.
I mean, it is real, but like
and it's not. It's like very short period of time that they're covered with this. It's,
Hours.
But like,
Right.
It's so upsetting.
well, no,
But
I
that's
don't
kind
like
of
it.
what it reminds me of.
No, it's yeah. So why do they have really long fucking toes and creepy ass feet? These unholy water walkers is so that
We
they
have
can.
different opinions.
No, I cannot. It just freaks me out.
These unholy water walkers.
Yes. So it's so that their weight is evenly dispersed so that they can walk on floating vegetation like lily pads, right?
Love it.
So they can also use those long ass toes to turn vegetation over to help them find food. Oh, can you just imagine watching this cute little fluffy bird just be like, ew? Like, they're the freakiest fucking bird.
See, I'm just like, I'm so in awe.
Well, that's also
Here's the
because
thing. Do you pick up things with your toes?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you would be like, oh, gross. I'm like I feel like I'm toe dexterous. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I can pick up things with my toes.
Argos.
Oh. I
Argos
think he did that pretty well.
He did a pretty good job. We left him a path. Now we know we need to leave him a path.
Because he just goes back and forth. I don't
No,
understand.
did I take your spot?
What are you looking at us for?
For those listening, Argos is needy.
He's needy as fuck.
I actually don't know
and
if you can see him on the camera.
he's just staring at us.
So if you hear heavy breathing on my mic, it's Argos, not Matt, not me.
Not either of us.
That was Maggie. What? Okay, you're getting close to hitting a camera.
That tail is going in all directions, Buster, and I don't know how I'm feeling about it.
Go lay down. You
Yep.
can go lay down in my room. I will.
Goodbye. Anyway, so as I said, they're wading birds. What are they eating? They're eating insects, mollusks, seeds, sometimes even forage, like little tiny forage fish.
But
They're
not big fish eaters. More crustacean based.
insects, and like sometimes they'll ingest vegetation, but that's just because it's
Yeah.
part of whatever creature they're trying to eat. Where exactly are they? I don't think I've said this yet. So they're in the tropics all over the world. So Central and South America, Africa, Asia, and Australia. And
Isn't there one in the Americas?
there was one. The one in Florida is extinct. Central and South America.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
That might be what you're
Wait, so
thinking.
there is one in Central and South America.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what I was thinking.
Okay.
'Cause I'm pretty
and
sure I've seen one.
it's totally possible. So
think I
they
found
have
these.
wide ranges.
Yeah.
Like they're not a rare bird, type of bird, family of bird. And some of them are actually quite beautiful. Like the pheasant-tailed jacana has this long plumy tail, like a stroke of a paintbrush. Like really nice. And then I really like the bronze-winged jacana.
Ooh.
It's like an iridescent shimmering demon.
Oh, okay.
I swear these birds freak me out.
Can I ask, why did you choose them?
I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know something's starting right now. I don't know, like suddenly they appeared in my browser one day
Yeah.
as a tab, as an open tab, and I don't know where this came from.
I just want to say, when I came and visited down in Virginia area, and I saw you like a month ago, you're like, oh, I already have my animals picked out. Like, I've got some ready to go.
Yeah.
I was not expecting this to be your first one.
They've
This
been
bird,
This bird has been sitting open on my phone browser tabs for at least 9 months. And it's just, yeah.
Oh, the worst is, I don't
So-
know if you'll get to the picture.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we're getting there. Anywho, these birds are roughly 6 to 12 inches long or 15 to 31 centimeters, depending on the species. Females are way heavier than males, so there is sexual dimorphism there. They suck at flying. That's just what the general consensus is. So when they're threatened, they will instead submerge underwater and just leave their bill barely above the surface so that they can breathe.
Reminds me of the Homer Simpson.
Going into the bushes?
Yeah,
Like,
but instead just going into the water.
just go underwater.
Just pull a Jacana and submerge slowly. Bye, guys. It's me in social situations.
So, you know what? You might have seen the Jacanas. There's one of them, I think it's the wattled, likes to peck at insects off of capybaras.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Love that.
Anyway, so which one? One of them also has, the wattled also has a sharp point at the end of its elbow so that it can give a nasty like elbow strike to its predators.
I have very sharp elbows, so I relate to that.
You are a Jacana, wattled. You are appropriately, affectionately known as a wattled Jacana.
Just call me waddled.
So who likes to eat them?
Oh my God, you can see it in this picture.
Yeah, that's not something you want to get poked with.
No.
That's what she said.
Continue. Come on. Remember we said there's a quick episode.
So who wants to eat these guys? Otters, crocodiles, water snakes, large fish.
Dang, everyone.
Here's the funny stuff. So males do most of this minimalist living here. They make very bare bones nests out of leaves and stems only. The females will lay a small clutch of eggs. Males will incubate the eggs not by sitting on them because the nests are made on the floating vegetation, real safe. But the males will instead keep the eggs under their wings.
Nice.
So the dad will then relocate to another lily pad if the existing nest starts to sink. I find this to be so impractical. Like, have you ever tried to walk from your car to your house with like 4 bags of groceries, your purse, your phone, a cup of coffee, and then your keys? Like, chances are you're going to drop your phone, you're going to spill coffee on yourself, and probably shatter those $5 eggs. Like, I think
eggs are so expensive these days, too.
I find this male Jacana bird to just be stupid, but whatever.
But it works,
It works for him. So it's a total role reversal between the male and females. The female actually has a large territory and will have a bunch of males within the territory that she'll go and mate with. So they are polyamorous. And then when the chicks are born, they're fluffy and tiny like most birds. They have, little golf ball thing. Except they have those goddamn legs and toes that are like almost full size. It's a tiny, fluffy, cute golf ball with ancient old lady spinster fingers.
Okay, have I ever told you about how cute baby guinea pigs are?
Maybe.
So what's really cute? Well, baby guinea pigs are really cute because they're born with their eyes open and they're basically just tiny guinea pigs, but they still have gigantic feet. And that's what it's reminding me of. And I find it so endearing.
Oh my gosh.
Now I'm going to look it up. Baby.
The chicks are born pretty much ready to go. They can walk, they can swim, and they're ready to almost hunt.
They're just such big feet.
The male teaches them to forage for food, and then at night he tucks them up into his wings, which is the creepy thing that Ashley was starting to reference earlier. If you want to go ahead and Google this motherfucking Jacana bird, like Google male Jacana protecting young. All you see is a bird with what looks like 18 legs. And that was the first image I ever saw of this bird. And
that is upsetting.
And that's why I was like, what the hell is going on with this? Anywho, it's just...
And it's just the bird, it's just the male with protecting his little babies.
It's just the male moving the babies away from crocodiles.
Both covering them and then making it so no human would ever want to approach that
Yeah,
bird.
exactly.
So,
he's like, look how
double
disgusting
duty.
I'm going to make myself.
It's
Anyhow.
so wild.
Conservation status, all Jacanas are doing fairly well. They are least concern, stable populations at this time, but like most wildlife are susceptible to human development and habitat loss. So
And they rely a lot on water, which makes it even worse.
yeah,
I feel like,
so that is the family of Jacanas, Jacanidae. And I think they are just demonish little fuckers.
And I think they're amazing. I love our varying takes.
I know. Well, There you go.
Oh,
Check them out.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's not what I thought was coming my way. I'm so excited, so happy by that.
This was a cool first episode back, and we both talked about birds, so who knew?
Who knew? Birds it is, baby. Just a reminder, do I say this or do you?
I think you do. You take, right? Maybe, or do we alternate?
Just a reminder, we are animal enthusiasts. We are not scientists. Do your own research. We just want to get you excited about animals like we are.
Even if we're less enthused when we talk about them, we still care about them.
I
know. The Jacana bird.
Come on, Maggie. Do I also say the outro?
What is the outro?
Thanks for joining us on this episode.
Thanks. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Do we alternate?
Usually, yeah.
I feel like we. Okay.
I feel like we alternate, right?
I feel like we alternate.
So can you do it?
Yeah, I think I can. Thanks for joining us on this episode. Tune in next time when we choose more animals, talk about the threats that they face. And in the meantime, subscribe to our YouTube channel and subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening. If you could leave us a review, that would help immensely so that we can find more listeners who are interested about animals just like you. I mean, I ad-libbed 96% of that.
But you got 96% of it, of the content.
Did I?
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for listening.
Bye.